Okay, so apparently I'm back. If you can hear me, maybe message me, and in 10 seconds, because of the delay of YouTube, I will be able to... Oh, people can hear me. Okay, great. All right, welcome. A little bit of drama shows that we're really live, because guess what? We are really live. Which means there are going to be technical faults. There's going to be risk. There's going to be adrenaline. So thank you for being here. As I was saying, my name, for those of you who don't know, is Adam Lenson, and I'm a director and producer based in London. And about 5 years ago, I made the perhaps ridiculous decision to focus my attention only on new musicals because I love musicals. I especially love musicals that disrupt traditional notions of what we think musicals should sound like, look like, or be about. And then about 3 years ago, I started a concert series called Signal, which used to happen in rooms with a band, with an audience, with singers. But like everything else, that isn't happening for the moment. So we decided that to keep our community writing and to keep our audience watching and to keep new stuff being written, we would figure out how to live stream this. So, yep, it's live. But here's the other weird thing we realized is that because of this weird era that we're in, people on the other side of the world are just as near to us as people down the street because we're all connected by an internet connection. So I thought, I've got friends and acquaintances in other countries. Why don't I ask them if they'll do it? And then suddenly this master plan started forming of this mega bill Signal, this incredible global lineup version of Signal. We did one just over 2 weeks ago, and welcome to the second. So you're here to watch what I describe as artist-driven new musical theatre, which is musicals which are pushed mostly by the writers rather than by the producer, because it kind of struck me that musicals are often a producer-driven form. Producers kind of go, oh, I have an idea. Why don't I hire someone to do this? And I was interested if what would happen if musicals were driven by the artists that were writing them. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. The sound is now working. I will stop talking for a little bit, but you'll see more of me. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the first of our incredible writers on an amazing global lineup that we've got to you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maimuna Memon.
Can anyone hear me or see me? Yes? Great. Hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thanks to Adam for creating this platform. I think everyone needs a bit of this in their life during what's going on at the moment. And the best thing about doing a gig inside is that I can wear my slippers. So there we go. I am going to now play a song for you. It's from, well, I'm not quite sure yet. I think it might be for another musical I'm writing, but I'm just going to leave it anonymous for now. It's called Is This How? And I hope you enjoy it. Sitting in Stones in my feet and I look out the window and down to the street, and I think of the things that you just said to me, and I just cannot speak, I just cannot speak. And the only thing I know how to do is go to the kitchen and pour a glass or two of the wine that you bought for my birthday last year, at a time when I thought that your demons had disappeared. Ooh, ooh. Is this how it's supposed to be? Is this how it's supposed to feel? Is this what happens when you fall in love? This is not what I dreamed of. Not what I dreamed of. Not what I dreamed of. There was a time when the sky was blue, and it swallowed up the clouds it used to swallow you, and to me there was nothing that we couldn't do. I wore my devotion like a tattoo, but sometimes devotion, it isn't enough. When you've been through a mountain of stuff, and the rough becomes smooth, and the smooth becomes rough, and it gets bloody hard to always be tough. Ooh, ooh. Is this how it's supposed to be? Is this how it's supposed to feel? Is this what happens when you fall in love? This is not what I dreamed of, but I won't let love be. I won't let love treat me the way it did when I was so small. I want the love to stand tall, to stand so tall, to stand so tall. Ooh, ooh. Sometimes you are my remedy, then other times I cannot breathe. You take the poison from my lungs, then put it back where it came from. Sometimes you get into my head, I think about the things you said. Sometimes I feel you're giving in, that you don't want me here again. Is this how it's supposed to be? Is this how it's supposed to feel? Is this what happens when you fall so deep in love? This is not what I ever dreamed of. Not what I dreamed. Thank you.
So it seems to be working, and it's back to me. Thank you so much, Maimuna. Just to say, please feel free to use emojis to applaud at the end of songs. It's super weird that we can't necessarily get the applause as we would normally do, but that is the thing. What you will see, I can't actually tell which way I should gesture, but you will see your comments scrolling down next to me. So yeah, feel free to do that. You can also see on my left, apparently, you can also see, I think here, a donate link, which although tonight is free, if you feel able to, in this tricky time, pay a contribution towards the setup of the event, then we would ask that you gave a contribution to our Amplify Fund, which supports writers of new musicals to write. Anyway, the other thing I could say early on is, if you're having a nice time, can you post that you're having a nice time so that other people can join the stream live? Because I know I keep saying it's live, but it is. And although people will be able to watch it back, I'd like to think there is something lovely and communal about the fact that we're all here together at the same tick of a clock, enjoying this. Anyway, I said it was global. We were just in London, and our next writer takes us to Bradford upon Avon, I think. And the last writer, we have been lucky enough to have her perform at 2 previous signals, and videos of that are on our YouTube channel that you're on now, as has the next writer who has been writing a show using Signal. So all of the songs that exist for this next show have actually been performed at Signal. Here is the newest, and to tell you about it is the wonderful Tim Gilvin.
Hello, I think. Welcome to my house. I'm just having like enormous internet problems, but I think everything is working on this computer, so we're going to hope that it's all happening. I hope there's some people out there. I don't know. So my name's Tim Gilvin, and this is a song from a show called Cable Street, a musical riot that I've been writing with Alex Kanefsky. And the show is broadly about the diverse communities of the East End coming together in 1936 under the common goal of blocking the march of the British Union of Fascists. And so that's something we've been thinking about, is people coming together under a common goal. At this time, obviously, it's been on our minds. And it feels to me, and something I talked about with Alex, like the divisions of Brexit and the election last year seem to be like just slightly on pause. So this is a song about those feelings, but in that time when a community could come together and hit pause on their differences for a moment, but also ask the question of what happens when that sort of cloud is lifted. Do those differences come back to the fore? It's the sister of one of our protagonists, who is Rosa. Her name is Rosa, and she's Sammy's sister. She's from the Jewish East End of London. I'm going to get straight into this, sort of weirdly nervous, even though I'm in my own house. So, yeah, here's a song I wrote this week. It's called Stranger/Sister. Hope you enjoy it. You get used to suspicion when they pass you on the street. They say, don't talk to strangers, don't trust the people you meet. They've got different hair, different clothes, different eyes, a different nose, a different idea of how we should live around here. You get used to division. You read it in the news. The rich blame the poor blame the rich, and everybody blames the Jews. They've got different food, different holy days, different customs and different ways. Close the door and stick to your own. But then clouds come and the sky grows dark, and it's all hands on deck to build an ark. And a stranger becomes a sister. Once you make that decision, hate in your heart, and you make some room, and the stranger becomes a sister. You get used to connection, but when the common enemy is defeated, the old wounds flare up and old mistakes get repeated. You're different people at the core, on different sides, so close the door. But there was a moment when we stood together. Something like that. Cheers.
Hey everybody. So, Bradford upon Avon, London. We should probably go somewhere global next. So I had this really interesting time at the end of last year. I was asked, along with the amazing company Sheep Soup, to go to Canada to workshop a musical as part of the Canada Musical Theatre Project. So we went to Canada for 6 weeks and workshopped a new musical. But the year that the thing that happened to me was I went to Canada for 6 weeks, workshopped this musical, stopped by New York on the way back because I was already across the Atlantic. So I went to New York for a bit, then went back to London, and then I went to Australia to visit a writer who's featured later tonight. So it makes me sound like a mad jet setter. I'm really not. I actually hadn't been anywhere for ages, but in the course of 3 months, I went to 4. Many of tonight's global story begins with Canada and begins with the Canadian Musical Theatre Project, CMTP. We workshopped a show, and these next writers workshopped a show too with the same project, and then the next year they were due to present that new musical with the students of Sheridan College. Unfortunately, Corona appeared, and unfortunately their run of their new musical was cancelled. One of those writers, Nick Greene, took the opportunity to set up an incredible thing, which is the Social Distancing Festival, which you might have heard about or seen on the news. So one of the writers of this next show was responsible for that. And the other I'm about to introduce you to now. So it gives me great pleasure to send you across the Atlantic to Canada, where I'm going to introduce you to Kevin Wong.
He sets out on a journey to forbidden corners of the internet, underground societies, and forgotten parts of himself. In real life, looks at power, technology, and freedom, as well as what it means to be connected in a world in which everyone does everything digitally from a cube of their own. Very timely. I promise we wrote it before this all happened. One other thing Nick also came up with was the idea of preserving a lot of lost work at this time by founding what he calls the Social Distancing Festival, which has now gotten quite a bit of press. It's doing really well, and you can find lots about the Social Distancing Festival at their website, socialdistancingfestival.com. Okay, so now I'm going to sing a song called Realer Life, and Realer Life is our protagonist Max's first major musical moment in the piece. I just had to do a little technical rejig, so I hope everything works. I'm sure they'll tell me if it doesn't. One more class down, one more quiz done, one more perfect score. One more test to pass, and then you could be out that door. Keep your head down, keep on working, keep on showing you're on your way. Day by day, there's no time for anything but work and code and bed. Yes, it's sometimes lonely, but that's how you get ahead. So push your doubts aside again and study more instead. Never stop, stay on top, keep on concentrating, and you'll earn what you've been waiting for. A realer life, a realer life, somewhere that feels less cold. Freedom and space, the sun on your face, things you can touch, can hold, can hold. Keep your gaze ahead, breathe in the thrum, the pulse, the hum. After all that work you've done, of course you're feeling numb. And if you sometimes wonder if you like who you become, don't think twice. That's just the price. And look how you're improving. Keep the pace up, keep on moving to that realer life. A realer life, earning your place in a place that's not so blank. No sadness to hide, no ache left inside, and you'll have you and the system to thank. Those who are troubled have yet to reach their potential. Those who are restless have more to learn and to give. Trust in the system, you know. Trust that it's helping, although sometimes it hurts. It's helping you grow into a realer life, your realer life, outside these cubes and chrome. Somewhere you can thrive, start feeling alive. Finally you'll be home. Finally you'll be home.
Thank you so much from Canada. Sorry about the sound issues in the talking. But just to repeat, that is from The Incredible in Real Life, which was due to be premiered at Sheridan College. But I'm certain we'll get to see more of in the future. Thank you for that beautiful song. I forgot to do it, but I have now posted the program for tonight on the ALP Musicals Twitter page, along with a link and everything else. So at ALP Musicals. Also, if you want to say hi, ALP Musicals is the place to do it. If you want to talk on social media about what's happening tonight, #SignalOnline is the way of doing that. If I read comments on Twitter, because I mean it's a bit mad on the live chat, but if I see Twitter comments, I might read them out and do shout outs. So tell me where you're watching from. The other thing that might be cool is take a picture of you watching it and put it online with #SignalOnline, and the link would be lovely. But just, a picture of you and where you're watching from. I want to see how global this is stretching. Fantastic. Well, so I went to see NTP with the incredible aforementioned Sheep Soup. Actually, I had my link wrong because it's not Sheep Soup next at all. It's Back to London. It's Back to London. And one of the things I'm really proud of with Signal is that as a concert series, it's a place for experimentation. I know that a bunch of people watching this are going to have to take a shot at this moment when I say one of the aims of it is that people feel able to present material where the paint is still wet. And that has meant that it's also been the starting ground of lots of actual musicals which are currently being written, some of which are on. And it's incredible in the amount of shows that have actually started a causal journey because of Signal. And I'm super proud of that. The next pair I introduced, one an amazing playwright and actor, the other an amazing singer-songwriter. I thought they would have a lot in common, and they did. And they are keenly underway on their first musical. But here is a second initiation for them, their first song of a new idea, conceived in isolation, written in isolation. And here to tell you about it in Essex, East London, is Rebecca Brewer. Thanks, Becky.
Hi, everybody. My name's okay. I'm Rebecca Brewer. I'm one half of the writing team for the project that you were about to see some goodies on. So this is a project that we think might live online. So we thought that it was a good opportunity to test that out this evening, considering we have a lovely online budding audience. So I won't say too much more. I will leave it to the video that we're about to show you explaining all the rest. Enjoy.
My name is Daisy Chute.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Brewer.
You might know us from Coven, which is our gig theatre show about witches. But today we have something very different for you.
So Daisy and I have been thinking about the idea of online and online content for obvious reasons that we can't go to any sort of physical performance space at the moment. But we started to think about stories that we thought might be fun to make specifically for the online platform. So what we're going to do for you today is a very, 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 very first song from a project that we're starting to think about, which is about cam girls. So cam girls are online models that work on webcams, and they often perform erotic acts over the internet live on webcam in exchange for money or goods or praise or whatever. So we started to think about this concept because cam girls have long been operating along the idea of the idea of physical connection, even though they are not physically connected to another person. So they've been developing this idea of that kind of fantasy for a long time and trading on it as well. So in a way, they've known more about isolation for a long time than we have. So there are also cam boys, it should be said, but we're specifically thinking about cam girls today.
Yes, and so we're excited that you'll hear this first song and this video, which is kind of set in a Zoom call, and we figured we're making it over video chat, and so we wanted to present it in a similar kind of way, playing with that idea a bit. And we've done quite a different kind of production on this. So you're used to hearing us with rocky or folky kinds of music, with all acoustic instruments, but this time this has all been pretty much made digitally, with some effects and a little bit of bass as well, but otherwise it's all been digital stuff. And it's been quite a challenge for me from the musical side of things, because I'm not really a pop producer or anything, but it's been quite fun to learn and to try it out, and so see what you think.
So this, like I said, this is our very first song from the project. Let us know what you think. It's all, I think the concept is that maybe the show might all be set in a Zoom call or like in a conference call with a group of cam girls having a conversation with each other about their experiences. But this is the first song, and it's called What It Is That We Do.
Enjoy.
Great. Thank you for that. You may have noticed that that was a video rather than live, but I decided on this occasion that until we figure out how to do until we figure out how to do isolated duets live, which we're actually trying to figure out, that I would still let people do duets and group numbers because it felt important that people should be able to. And that was super cool. So thank you both for all of the time you put into making our first fully edited duet number for Signal Online. And for responding to the current form of our lives, which is the digital. So Kevin and Nick, who you met earlier from CMTP, I'm actually wearing my Sheridan jumper, so big up CMTP and the kids of Sheridan. The show that we were working on while we were over there was a show about hoarding. The next number is going to be a mad collection of live and pre-record. I hope you enjoy. Sending you now to the incredible Rob Greene, who is in Leeds. Thanks, Rob.
Hi everyone, I'm Rob Greene, I'm from Sheep Soup, we are I am going to be performing with Ben Welch, who's the creative director of Sheep Soup, a song from our upcoming musical which is about hoarding. The book is being written by Esther Coles, and the other half of the songwriting team, it's me and a guy called Nick Harvey. And the song we're going to share for you is called Chuck Cherish Charity. And the important thing to know about our show is that it is focused around a central character called Nell, who is a hoarder. At this point, we're in the second act, and a wedge has been driven between Nell, her adult daughter, and her teenage granddaughter because of her hoarding problem. And so at this point in the second act, she's been left alone with her objects. In our show, the objects sort of speak to Nell and interact with her. And so at this point, the lamp, who's going to be played live by me, sort of shines light on different objects. And she has to decide whether she's going to chuck them, to cherish them, or give them away to charity. I think that's all there is to say about that. Hope you enjoy it. And here we go. Hear ye, the home of the Nell. Judge's lamp don't ramp, shining down with the truth to tell. I wanna know what you're in for, whether I'm throwing you out or giving you over to Barnardo's. Or maybe this place makes your heart sore. Wanna confess that you're blessed in this enviro. Meant to be here for eternity. Basically, I need a category. Chuck, cherish, or charity. Come sing it to me. Chuck, cherish, or charity. Won't you come and let me know? Should you stay or should you go? Chuck, cherish, or charity.
I'm a golden raincoat, a statement piece, twisting plastic with fabric, fashionable and functional, that's me. Used to wear me in the 70s, but now she only keeps me for posterity. Don't give me to the bin, man, I wanna feel the rain on my skin again, wrapped around a retro fashionista. Let me set off the dress code of a new soul sister. Style is a cycle and she fell off the bike. Put me in a vintage store window, name your price, and when the time is right and the weather's shy, I can rep the drizzle bizzle for the rest of my life.
Chuck, cherish, or charity.
Cherish, cherish.
Chuck, cherish, or charity. Won't you come and let me know? Should you stay or should you go? Chuck, cherish, or charity. Yeah.
I'm the trusty bookcase, you know what I say, don't age, just grow. Wiser every day, you fill me up with a change and rotation of books. And I'm all about the brains, don't sweat it on the looks. You can't put me on the shelf, cause I'm literally the shelf. Literacy and fantasy are like keys, so open your mind, grow a spine and cherish me.
Chuck, cherish, or charity.
Oh baby, baby.
Chuck, cherish, or charity.
You can't replace me.
Come and let me know, will you stay or should you go? Chuck, cherish,
or charity.
I'm a voice, looking fly, feeling high. So one day I got a headline, fracture down my spine. Though nobody can see my crack, I know exactly where it's at. Though the naked eye can hardly see, it's bad enough for me to leave the water that she used to keep the flowers in a summer's eve. And Lord knows that things weren't cheap, and now she's standing ankle deep. I know I keep a sentence, bring a peace, but I can never be a centerpiece. Chuck me, chuck me.
Chuck, cherish, or charity. Come sing it to me. Chuck, cherish, or charity. Won't you come and let me know, should you stay or should you go? Chuck, cherish, or charity. Come on, baby. Nelly, Nelly, tell me, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Over to you.
Technical wizardry. We did some technical wizardry. Though, so I don't know if anyone else has done a live stream with a mixture of live and pre-records from their bedroom. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thanks, Sheep Soup. So, from Nottingham and Leeds via Canada back to New York for our next act. This is a really cool one because I had this doesn't happen to me super often, but the next writer, 3 different people who I know in New York all messaged me and said, you've got to know about this show that's on at Ars Nova. It feels like it may be your dream show. It's called Rags Parkland Sings the Songs of the Future and was described to me as a dystopian sci-fi piece of gig theatre that was also folk. Of course, I was immediately intrigued and I looked into it. But I couldn't get to New York. So then I did the thing that I tend to do when I need to know a writer, which is I tried to contact the writer and I found his email address, dropped him a line and said, hello, I'd like to be your friend across the Atlantic and know a bit more about your show. And on that trip after Canada, when I was in New York, we went for coffee. So the internet brought us together, and now the internet brings us together in a time of isolation. In amazing news, last week, the official cast recording of Rags Parkland was dropped. It's on Spotify now. You've got to listen to it. It's the coolest, most amazing, most disruptive thing ever. I'm in love with it. No one else in England is allowed to direct it before me, except I guess the original director if it transfers. Now I've said that on a live stream. Cool. Anyway, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to singing a new song from what he thinks is a new show, the amazing Andrew R. Butler.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks so much for joining me here. I'm Andrew R. Butler, coming at you from Brooklyn, New York. Really exciting to get to check out everybody else in all these other places. Thanks to Adam for having me. I'm going to play a tune for you that is not part of an existing musical. It's for a show that I'm songwriting my way towards. I think it is set in and around the Gulf Coast of the United States, where I grew up. I very nearly decided to play for you one of my science fiction folk music songs, because that's how I met Adam. He saw a show of mine that actually just dropped a cast album that you can check out on Spotify. It's called Rags Parkland Sings the Songs of the Future. If you dig this vibe, you might dig some of that. But this song is called Win Some Easy. And nobody's heard it before, so, you know, here you go, world premiere. I wish that you would let me win some easy. I wish it didn't always have to be so hard. I wish that you were just a little lighter sometimes. It'd be easier to find your heart. I wish you didn't love me quite the way you do. It'd be easier to walk away. It'd be easier to stay. It'd be easier. Let me love the way it comes. Let me love the way it goes. Don't try to hold me to the light. Ain't there enough of me that shows? If I ain't got enough for you, wouldn't it be you that says goodbye? If the canyon's all that deep, if the river's all that wide, I'm not afraid to take the ride. I'm not afraid to take the ride. I'm not afraid to take the ride. Oh, I wish that life would let you win some easy, babe. I wish that I could undo what's been done. The hurts that make you look at me so crooked. All the way it hurts when I can't help you none. Let me love you when they come, the way I love you when they go. Don't try to hold us to the light. Ain't there enough of us that shows? If I ain't got enough for you, wouldn't it be you to say goodbye? If the canyon's all that deep, oh, if the river's all that wide, I'm not afraid to take the ride. I'm not afraid to take the ride. Oh, so come on back inside now. Come on back inside. Won't you come on back inside? Here we go. I wish that you would let me win some easy. Oh, I wish you'd just consider that you're wrong. That I love you plenty good to keep us going. That you're enough to keep me hanging on. That you're enough to keep me hanging on. That you're enough to keep me hanging on. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, y'all.
Welcome back. Thank you, Andrew. That was amazing. And almost all of the songs tonight are world premieres, which is so special because I'm lucky enough as someone who works in musical theatre to get these moments where I get a demo in my inbox of a new song, and it feels so special to get something that new rather than just the same songs we've heard for 30 years rattling around our West End. So it's a real pleasure to get to share them with you. Just for anyone who's joined us. I can see that people have been joining us steadily through the stream. So hello, I'm Adam Lenson and I'm a director and producer based in London. And this is Signal Online, which is a digital version of a concert that we normally do at a venue with a band in London. But we've taken the opportunity to make it global and bring in writers from all over the world. So we're nearly at the end of our first set. We're going to have a 15-minute interval when we between sets, but then do come back because, my goodness, we have some incredible stuff coming up for you in the second half. I just want to let you know that at ALP Musicals on Twitter is our Twitter account, and that's where you can find a program of everything that you're seeing tonight. Also, if you're able to click like and even subscribe to the ALP Musicals page on YouTube, that would really, really help us out. And the other thing is, although tonight is free, it's taken a lot of time and resources to pull together. And if you're able to donate to us at alpmusicals.com/donate, it's to our fund to support writers of new musicals to have time, space, and the ability to write work that is artist-driven rather than producer-driven, and hopefully will lead to more amazing stuff like this. So that's 6 songs down. We've got our 7th song, then it's going to be our interval, but please do come back and stay with us. So for our final song of this set, it gives me great pleasure that we're able to show you another world premiere. This next show is a show that exists in the incredibly recent memory. I ran an event at the end of the last year called Newsfeed, and the idea of it was that writers could write songs based on the most recent week's news. And this next pair wrote a song that was a verbatim song based on Mark Zuckerberg being interviewed by Katie Porter in Congress. And it was amazing. So then I asked them at a Signal event to write another song from that same project, and they wrote a song about Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, being interviewed at home. Then they wrote a song about content moderation. Then they wrote a song about being a blogger. And it turned out we were like, this is a show. So we decided that all of this verbatim stuff about the internet was going to be part of a new piece of musical theatre that was going to be called Public Domain, is called Public Domain. And we were all set to do its world premiere at the Edinburgh Festival this summer. That's not going to happen because the Edinburgh Festival has been cancelled, but it's a show about the digital. It's a show that's responsive to the moment. It's a show that exists based on the stuff that's literally happening on the internet. And we are committed to making it happen this year in some cool new way, either on the internet or in some sort of streamed reality or something. But this piece is going to premiere this year. It's called Public Domain. And because this is an Act 1 finale, it's a massive company number. And so we are going with a pre-recorded video, which has been painstakingly crafted over 3 days by these amazing writers. But here live to tell you all about it is the incredible Jordan Clarke.
Hi, hello, world. Oh, this is exciting. I'm Jordan, and I have Francesca Forristal here on FaceTime. Woo! High five, yes. So we've been making Public Domain since November, as Adam said, and the show is a verbatim musical taking words from YouTube videos, from Facebook videos, from online content from the news, from Facebook, from YouTube, viral videos, and this next song that we're doing, it's not taking text from videos or interviews, it's taking text from tweets, right, Jessica? Yeah, tweets, actual tweets. So every lyric you hear in this next song is a tweet that has been tweeted in the last 2 weeks. This is our first full cast number for Public Domain, and being isolated miles apart, that's been tough, hasn't it, Chesk?
It's been so tough to get the cast together. As you'll see, there are a lot of people in this video.
Yeah, it's been a tough one, but we've done our best, guys. Enjoy, have fun.
Love you guys.
Zoom Hangouts have ushered in a new era of social anxiety where people constantly want to hang out and there is literally no excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, and I'm gonna throw up.
Zoom Hangouts have ushered in a new era of social anxiety. Social anxiety, where people constantly want to hang out, and there is literally no excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, and I'm gonna throw up.
I'm very grateful for all my friends. I just wouldn't have 7 different social events during a normal week. So having to navigate that digitally is a lot.
Everyone replying, just say no, do not seem to have a full understanding of how social anxiety works. My brain, my friends will understand if I say no this time. Also brain, they hate you. Dunno about you, but this introvert expected isolation to be far less social. It's wearing me out.
Well, enough to FaceTime, but I have a fat face, and apparently I look like a turtle, so... And then there are those of us who have never been invited to one, just like real life.
Really, the only bad thing about having to do FaceTime vids is that I have to look at my own face for an extended period of time.
Get my Zoom face on fleek.
Having to look at myself during these Zoom classes. Already tanking myself for steam and it's only day 1.
It has become clear to me, I really do have resting bitch face.
Zoom Hangouts have ushered in a new era of social anxiety, where people constantly want to hang out, and there is literally no excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, and I'm gonna throw up. Zoom has me realizing how other people see me. Zoom has me realizing how other people see me. I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry everyone, whoa.
All I do during Zoom meetings is look at the screen admiring my face. There, I said it!
Nothing more humbling than being forced to look at your pre-shower, pre-coffee self during an 8 a.m. Zoom call.
My business idea, a Zoom filter that makes your face not look fat even though you're eating 5,000 calories a day in quarantine carbs. Quarantine carbs. Having to look at myself has done more damage to my self-esteem in 2 weeks than my depression has done in 10 years.
Ready for my Zoom meeting. Sick of having to look at my own stupid fucking face all the time. One nice thing about Zoom is that I get to look at my cute face all the time.
So has anyone gotten caught having sex on Zoom yet? You mean masturbation with the camera on? Lol.
Zoom has me realizing how other people see me.
The brilliant thing about house party is you can see how many people don't want to speak to you. House party owns whatever you say in its app, and it won't delete your details even if you ask for it.
We are investigating indications that the recent hacking rumors were spread by a paid commercial smear campaign. We are offering $1 million to provide proof of such a campaign. I spoke to an old therapist friend today and finally understood why everyone's so exhausted after the video calls. Our minds tricked into the idea of being together when our bodies feel we're not. That dissonance is exhausting. Our bodies process so much context, so much information. The meeting on video is being a weird kind of blindfolded. If I want intimacy and we're apart, I'll phone.
How am I supposed to not look at my face the whole time?
Zoom has me realizing how other people see me. Hangouts have ushered in a new era. Zoom has me realizing how other people see me. excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, no excuse not to, and I'm gonna throw up.
Zoom meeting's over. Okay, good night.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Well, that's set one. Thank you so much for tuning in. There are loads of you, and we really appreciate you taking your evening and spending it with us. We're going to take a break now. Please stay with us because we've got some ridiculous stuff coming up. New songs from people in the UK, Australia, Canada, America. Beautiful and amazing things are going to happen here. So if you join us back again at 9 p.m. UK, which is 4 Eastern, and which is 6 a.m. in Australia. And one of our performers is waking up right now in order to join us. Hashtag Single Online at ALP Musicals, www.alpmusicals.com/donate. If anything you can give would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for the amazing writers who performed in Act 1. See you in Act 2. See you at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Welcome back to set 2 of Signal Online. Thanks for sticking with us. Newcomers, thanks for joining us. For those of you who don't know, my name is Adam Lenson and I'm a director and producer based in London. And I am... someone just spoke on my monitors. They shouldn't have done that. I'm going to take these off. So I'm a director and producer based in London. Normally we do a regular concert in London that houses many fewer people than there are here on this online room now. But we can't do that at the moment. So we decided to bring the concert online. And at the same time, we decided to take the opportunity, instead of just having writers from the UK, to also have writers from around the world. From America, from Canada, from Australia in today's concert and in this next set. Just to tell you, if you can tell us where you're tuning in from, we'd absolutely love that. Maybe take a picture and send it at ALP Musicals. That's our Twitter and Instagram account. If you're using a hashtag tonight to talk about this, can you use hashtag Signal Online? And we'd be really grateful if you could tell people to come and join us on the stream. Okay, talking over, let's watch some new musical theatre. Here's another world premiere. One of the things that Signal led to was new songs being written for brand new shows. And this song is from a show that became our first production. It was just produced in the last week before Corona at Vault Festival, and it was called Stages. We did an hour-long festival version of the show, but the show's going back into development and we're making version 2.0 at the moment. This is the first song of that redevelopment. To tell you about it is the incredible Chris Czornyj. Hey, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Czornyj, the writer of Stages. If you haven't seen Stages before, it's a musical about processing impossible situations told through the lens of video games. It follows a family consisting of 2 parents and 2 children when the mum gets diagnosed with cancer and the world starts to glitch, like a broken game. We were lucky enough, I think as Adam just said, to finish our festival-length version of the show at Vault Festival before this whole lockdown thing started. And it makes me really excited to actually keep that momentum going and share a new song from Stages version 2. This song is sung by Aidan, our teenage son of the family, and it gives us an insight into why we're seeing this world through video games. And so here to sing, play the game, I'd love to welcome back Max Alexander Taylor.
Forward to left, forward to jump, step, step, die, repeat. Forward to left, forward jump, step, step, duck complete. Meet a person, prompt interaction. Are you here to save the girl? Answer certain, so take an action. I am the hero after all. When I play a game, I lose myself in the level, so I don't need to be careful with what I say. When I play a game, the rules are clear and simple. I can understand the riddle that they convey. Because a game is just objectives, completed in a sequence, inputs entered in a logical way. I can live freely in the game, so why can't life be like the games I play? Wake up, school, people, lunch, speak, speak, die, repeat. Wake up, school, loner, lunch, hide, hide, die, defeat. Meet a person, wait, observation. But they say, are you okay? Words are burdened by intonation, so nod and lie, then go away. I wish life were a game. I choose to restart the level and not have to be careful with what I say. 'Cause if life were a game, the rules would be clear and simple, and it wouldn't be a riddle to just say pay. Because a game is just objectives completed in a sequence, inputs entered in a logical way. I can live freely in the game, so why not make life like the games I play? My favourite choice, black and white, every move left or right, every word said rehearsed. I'd be coming in first, it'd be easy to win, I'd know where to begin, I'm programmed that way. So I'm gonna play a game and lose myself in the level, see the world through a digital overlay. I'll make life a game, reduce the amount of options, so I'll come out on top and survive the day. Because a day can be objectives completed in a sequence, inputs entered in a logical way. I will live freely in the game, so I'm making life be like the games I play. I will play the game. I will play the game. I will play the game.
Hey everyone, welcome to Act 2. That was a new song from Stages, which was a musical that was originated via Signal. I think we had 4 songs at Signal before it was first produced. And what's, they always say about musicals, they aren't written, they're rewritten. We did that first run, we figured a lot out, and the rewriting has begun for an extended, longer version. So we're really excited to bring that to the world at some point. And as I said, that's an ALP Musicals first production coming to the world. So if anyone likes 8-bit video game musicals that, by the way, are also fully interactive and have a homemade homebrew LED screen accompanying the action, then drop us a line. All right, so Act 2, Signal Online 2. Where are we going next? Well, we're staying in England for a little bit. The next pair of writers were the first people to ever send me a new musical. I think it was 2014, 13. I don't know, a while ago. I remember I had directed a few new-ish musicals from America, and I got obsessed with the idea that maybe working with the writer in the room would be more fun. Of course, none of us can be in the same room at the moment. And I put into the world that it would be really cool if I knew some people who wrote new musicals, and this next pair came into my life. They've done every single In the Room signal that we've done. Videos of the first 9 songs of this show are on our YouTube channel that you're on right now, ALP Musicals. They are incredible, but both of them have tiny children who were in bed. So I agreed to a pre-record on this one. But telling you about that pre-recorded and incredible song, another song from the fabulous Fox Sisters, live and in person in South London, the amazing Michael Conley. Thanks, Michael.
Good evening. I am Michael Conley. I needn't say too much as we've actually pre-recorded an introduction to our song as well as the song itself. We were hoping to perform it live, but Tuesday is Luke's night for getting pissed. He actually sent me a video of him playing the piano for the entire song, but who wants to see that? So please, enjoy me. Bartek? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Michael Conley. Funny, I guess, but I expected to hear your applause. In any case, we're thrilled to be back performing at Signal. I'm sorry we missed the last one. You see, when Luke called me and told me there was a global pandemic and I couldn't leave the house, I need you to understand this is something he says at least once a month, but when I had it independently verified, well, in any case, here we are, singing from the inevitable, fabulous Fox Sister, which, as anyone who's been to Signal before knows, tells the story of Kate Fox, who, when she pretended to communicate with spirits in 1858 upstate New York, inadvertently created a religion. Now, our show is Kate's final seance, and you, her final audience. In the last song we performed, Kate said goodbye to her sister Maggie, who left her to lead a life of her own, and this follows on directly from that. So, Luke, if you would. So in 1852, my sister Maggie walked out the door, and I didn't see her again for 5 years. I was fine, who cared? I mean, business was great. I was famous, my fans were famous. Charles Dickens, Arthur Conan Doyle, Abraham fucking Lincoln. But then in 1857, I got lucky. Maggie's gross husband died, and she moved back in with me, and I forgave her, and everything was great. And then in 1861, I got lucky again. The Civil War. Over 600,000 dead soldiers meant more than 2 million people who wanted to talk to their spirits. Ka-ching. Things were great. Too good, really. See, we were teetotalers then, me and Maggie, and then I met a man. Not the man I would marry, the father of my stupid children, but the love of my life. Of course, when I met him, he was called Jack, but nowadays everybody calls him Jim. Jim Beam. Who, him? He's a dream. Gives me vim. And vim can make it seem like life's not so goddamn grim. Jim Beam. Tell him he's extreme. To the brim, that's my regime. I sip and sleep in the interim. Jim. Me and him make quite the team. He keeps me trim. He gives me steam. So I get sick and I stay slim. Jim. Beam. God, does that guy gleam? Synonym, his is supreme. Bum times cannot be dim. Boy, Jim, beam. For him I've esteem. On a limb I'll climb and scream. That's just it, just if I skim. Jim. Love him, that's my theme. I could drink a fucking stream of Jim. That's my hymn, spelled H-Y-M-N-M. I
Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much to Michael Conley. We've missed the Fox sisters at Signal and we're glad they're back. For anyone that wants to watch 9 other songs from that show, they're on YouTube right now, from a time when we could all be in person together and you can actually hear people laughing at Michael's jokes. I just realised I needed to look at what next. That always happens. I suppose I would just compel you, as we run into this final sequence of songs, to, if you have musical theatre fans in your lives, tell them that this is happening. We think that the fact that this is live makes it somewhat special. It makes it complicated. It makes it high risk. But hopefully it gets the blood pumping through in your hearts, because it is certainly making it to us and the writers. So yeah, if you've got friends, tell them to watch. #Signal Online at ALP Musicals on Twitter. And on to our next song. This is another brand new show. You're going to hear its first song tonight for the very first time. A true... Ooh, I just burped. Oh my goodness. Maybe that will get some viewers. Excuse me. Live and forever. This is the first song from a first ever show by this next pair that happen to be siblings. Who are isolating together. And they, of course, decided that they should probably start writing together, since one of them is a composer lyricist and the other is a playwright. So they've started writing a show. This is their first song from it. Here to tell you about it are the incredible McGrady siblings.
Hi, I'm Meg McGrady and I use they, them pronouns.
Hi, I'm Laura McGrady, she, her.
Oh, we're live now. Hi, I'm Meg McGrady, I use they, them pronouns.
Hi, I'm Laura McGrady, she, her.
And we are siblings. And we've been thinking about writing a musical together for ages. So when we were kind of forced into this lockdown and the world ended, it only made sense to start writing this show together. We just want to give a huge thank you as well to Sam Young, who recorded the piano track for this. It's so good.
Thank you. The musical that we're writing is called Camp In Between. It's about family, the afterlife, and what happens when you finally see yourself as others do. It's essentially about self-worth, but looked at through the lens of teenagers.
So Camp In Between is set in an American-like movie-style summer camp, which is actually the afterlife. Yeah, you still with us?
The musical starts when Sophie and Kit arrive at the camp, having just died in a car crash. Sorry. They are greeted by 3 overly cheery camp counsellors who tell them that this is a place to look back at their life and reflect, until they move on to whatever's next.
Kit, who was driving the car when it crashed, is in no mood for reflecting right now and storms off and bumps into Drew, another camper. Or another dead teenager, depending on how you look at it.
Drew has been at the camp for a really long time and considers himself a bit of an expert. So he takes it upon himself to give Kit an introduction of his own to the camp. And that's when he sings this song.
So we're going to pass you over to our amazing singer, Rowley, who is going to be playing Drew and singing our new song, You're New Here, over to the Isle of Man.
A car crash. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go.
Okay, so we're going back to me while we figure out Rolly's vocals not being live. Rowley, I should say. I'm in a slightly weird multitasking situation now where I am talking while watching the future. Anyway, that's strange. Hi, everybody. I suppose it's probably time to tell the new viewers watching about the bonfire. You might have seen bonfire emojis. You might have seen on Twitter bonfire emojis. And basically, that happened because I kept wondering why people in England weren't particularly interested in new musicals. They seem to be really, really interested in musicals that were written 30 and 40 years ago, which, no diss to those musicals, but I couldn't understand why people loved musicals but didn't really want to risk the idea of seeing new musicals. And I kept trying to meet theatres and talk to them about musicals, and knocked on their doors and said, hi, I'd love to talk about musicals. I really like the form. I think they can be interesting and diverse and new and have a disruptive, artist-driven sound. And the doors never really opened. And a friend of mine said to me, look, stop knocking on doors and build a bonfire. He said, go to a patch of grass and build a bonfire and invite all of the coolest people that you know to sing and write and make light and make fire. And if you do that, then gradually it will get brighter and more people will see the bonfire and more people will come to the bonfire, and gradually it will get brighter and better. And eventually, if you keep doing it for long enough, people might leave the doors that you used to be knocking on and come and visit. And it's starting to happen. So I suppose Signal has been like a big part of this bonfire. It's been a desire has been here in me to really empower artists to write whatever the hell they want. I don't ask artists to write particular things. I say, what do you want to write? Here's a slot. And what I've been finding is the material that they end up bringing to Signal is just so ridiculously high quality, and it's inventive and it's imaginative and it's different. And I suppose, yeah, the idea of sticking to your guns, putting artists first and giving them a platform has become the bonfire, and that's what Signal 2 is. So for anyone out there who's been knocking on a door, maybe stop knocking on the door for a while and build a bonfire. And particularly in this time, I think there's something very comforting about being able to see light and being able to see, you know, the light of other people who care in the same way as you, and bringing together community and bringing together artists, and not necessarily caring about producers, not necessarily caring about audiences and money and all of those things yet. I do care about those things, but in the first instance, asking people to write stuff that they care about and giving them that platform and giving them that space. And I'm not going to lie, this is a terrible, terrible time. This is a really scary time. This is a time where we're all just trying our best. And, you know, I want to give a big shout out to all of the people in healthcare, all of the people in transit, all of the people who are delivering things still, all of the people who are making everything possible still. But for me, at this time, it becomes even more important that we come together and that we make art and we share that, not in a situation of judgment, but in a situation where people can honestly put into the world stuff that they care about in the hope that other people might care about it too. So the mad thing about this tough time has been the ability to forge global connections. There are like many, many times more people watching this stream and will watch the stream over the coming days than could ever pack into a room in London. And not only that, but we've got to include writers who I've emailed or tweeted, but actually now I've got to run a concert with them singing songs and singing new songs. So anyway, I suppose if I was given this moment to speak while there were technical issues, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for those who write. Thank you for those who share that writing freely. Thank you for those who listen. And thank you, all of you, for being part of a bonfire. It's very moving to me. And I'm very grateful. So yeah, it looks like we're on a bit of a pause. But if you could... at ALP Musicals, fill it with bonfire emojis for me. That would make me really happy right now. If anyone's there and they can put some bonfire emojis at ALP Musicals, then I would really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody watching this around the world. The other thing is, writing takes time, and it takes money, and it takes space, and it takes permission. And not a lot of writers get that all the time. And so one of the things I've been trying to do for the last 3 years is raise a fund so that writers can simply write the stuff that's in their hearts, that's in their minds, that's keeping them awake at night, their wounds, their heat, and the stuff that is important to them, rather than the stuff they think might make someone take notice of them. So we've been raising this money that we can give to people simply to write about whatever that they want. It seems more important than ever that we can give money to writers at this moment. So if you have money, if you're still lucky enough to be drawing a wage, if you've enjoyed the entertainment we're providing you tonight, I would really, really appreciate it while this pause is going on if you could go to alpmusicals.com/donate. Even a $5 would be so incredible. And a $5 by the 500 people who are watching would enable us to do incredible, incredible things for this community. Anyway, I've been talking for ages. I can hear myself in the past in my earphones. I just didn't want to stop. I didn't want to stop the stream because we're live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my phone, and if anybody is watching, if you can tweet at me and I'll shout you out. If you have something inspiring to say at this moment, then say again. Okay. So okay. All right. So we won't be able to go back to Rolly for a little bit. Rolly, apologies. He did remind me of that. But what we are going to be able to do is go instead to New York, to Max Vernon, the incredible writer. I was in a writers group in London called BML. Shout out to BML, which is based on BMI. And in it, I was lucky enough to work with a composer called Rebecca Dale. Rebecca Dale, as a classical musical composer, was sent on a writer's retreat in America with Max. She told me he was incredible. I had to meet him. And when I went to New York, I was lucky enough to do so. We went to Velselka, I think it's called, in the East Village, and we had dumplings, pierogies, which we can't do now. But just thinking of that venue right now as I send you to tell you about his new song, Max Vernon. Thanks, Max.
Great.
Hi everybody. I'm sorry to Rolly for your technical difficulty. I'm shocked I'm the one who's not having the technical difficulty. I'm 31 years old and feel very old by all these incredible things that all of these children are doing now with these wires and their Zooms and their streams and their Skype. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm here in New York and it feels semi-apocalyptic, which is I guess why I have this poster with this mushroom cloud behind me. And I've actually been working on a musical about the apocalypse called Show and Tell. And in it, there is a character who is a former influencer who was very famous online for her makeup tutorials, but now she has no one to watch them, so she goes to a local show and tell, and she does the tutorials for everyone there. So I'm going to attempt to do a tutorial as I sing her song in the show. The world's gone astray, a new disaster every day. But don't forget that you're still sickening in your own special way. You can't change your fate, but you can change your face. And for a moment feel like you're in control. and everything's in the right place. Take a deep breath, and stop your wallowing. You're still very influential, even if no one is following. Just prime your eyes, start to see if you can stop the calamity. You can contour it. You can contour it. Make your dull eyes smile, let your cheekbones sing. Conceal almost everything. All the shares and likes you'll never get. The hurt and shame, just cover it with holographic shine, so no one knows you're crying. Cause if this should be my final day, I'm showing death I came to slay. Alright, so what we're doing for this look today is we're just gonna cake on a little bit of the shade that I like to call abysmal, because we're trying to make people who are walking past us on the street think that we are completely devoid of hope and sanity. Let's cake it on. I used to be an internet celebrity until the cloud collapsed and we all lost our fame and history. So much to share, but there's no way to stream. So now I'm here with you folks in the flesh, instead across your iPhone screen. I'm freaking out and feeling all the feels, cause I'm pretty sure I should be with the friends I know whose love is real. But what is my identity if strangers aren't watching me? Contour it, contour it. Make your dull eyes smile, let your cheekbones sing. Conceal almost everything. All the shares and likes you'll never get. The hurt and shame, just cover it with holographic shine, so no one knows you're crying. Cause if this should be my final day, I'm showing death I came to slay. Ooh, okay, I'm living for that. This is great. When we die and go to hell, Satan's gonna see us and he's gonna be like, yeah, so proud of you. Gotta get my highlighter ready. If your life's a mess and the world is shit, just contour it, just contour it. If your life's a mess and the world is shit, just contour it, just contour it. If your life's a mess and the world is shit, just contour it, just contour it. If your life's a mess and the world is shit, just contour it. Make your dull eyes smile, let your cheekbones sing. Conceal almost everything. All the shares and likes you'll never get. The hurt and shame, just cover it with holographic shine, so no one knows you're crying. Cause if this should be my final day, showing death I came to smile and let your cheekbones sing. Conceal almost everything. The shares and likes you'll never get. The fear and doubt, just cover it with holographic shine, so no one knows you're crying. Cause if this should be my final day, showing death I came to slay. Showing death I came to slay.
Okay, welcome back. We are back on track. Thank you so much, Max. It's still incredible to think that all of these people are on one lineup. It just couldn't happen except if we were in the digital space. So again, I know that we're losing a lot right now, and it's a weird and terrible time in many ways, but I'm grateful at least for this. So thank you everybody for watching, and thank you, Max. It gives me great pleasure to take you back to the McGrady siblings.
Holy moly.
Okay, here's some input from my microphone, Bartek. Yep, this is some input from my microphone, Bartek. Great, and the great, cool, okay. Potentially the third time this has been heard. Great. Look, you're new here, and I saw you didn't buy your first introduction. Look, I've been here for like a pretty long time. I can help explain the sudden abduction from the life you were living. Was it a knife, a good old-fashioned shivving? I have to know.
A car crash. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go.
Okay. As I was saying, you're new here, you might fancy someone to explain the view here, because you're new here, and I grew to understand the true footing of this land over years. And now we're peers.
Absolutely not.
They tell you, and it's sort of true, but you have to do what they tell you to, or you can never leave.
What?
They tell you, and it's sort of true, but you have to do what they tell you to. And by the way, my name is Drew.
Or I can never leave.
Yeah, it's like, you have to sort of come to terms with your life and shit.
Right.
And then you have to decide where you move on to.
What?
Look, you're new here, so maybe you don't even really know where you are because you're new here. So let me be the one to hit you with the truth. Bam! Just like your card. Too soon. You gotta pick up or down like a smile or a frown. Only you know.
I don't get it. Just cut to the chase so I can go.
Okay. What's your rush? You're new here, make the most of someone to explain the view here, because you're new here, and I grew to understand the true footing of this land over years. Let me ease your fears.
Fears? I'm afraid this conversation will never end.
Fine, you're new here. So let me spell it out to you in this important verse, because you're new here. Only you can choose if you move on to better or to worse. It's in your gut, it's a fate you can't control unless you're me.
Okay, fine. I pick good. I pick moving on to better. Done. Can I go now?
Okay. As I was saying, you're new here. I can be someone to explain the view here, because you're new here, and I grew to understand the true footing of this land over years and years and years and years and years. Now one last time, lend me your
Haven't you
question at a time. I'm in my prime, a camp for teens, no rules in sight. I decide what's wrong or right. You have to believe, cross your heart and hope to die. You know what's in store, there's no way to lie. What way? That's why I object and choose to stay in this mad bonkers American, never get bored again. Campfire sing along, feel like a king among men in a dream. It's not what it seems. So let me be the first to be seen, to welcome you to camp in between.
The camp counselors actually already did that.
Okay, lighten up. You're new here, I could be someone to explain the view here, because you're new here, and I grew to understand the true footing of this land over years. I hope that clears things up. You're new here, I could be someone to explain the view here, because you're new here, and I grew to understand the true footing of this land over. I just want to help you, I can be tough to make it through. And by the way, my name is Drew. Who are you?
We did it. We did it. Thank you so much, Roly. Thank you to Meg and Laura for being patient with that one. If you write a song for Signal, it gets performed. That seems like a very, very good moment to shout out the technical heroism of our technical producer, Bartek Podkova. Shout out to Bartek. We have basically created a whole new way of multi-location global live streaming that he has really been pioneering to try and make this all work and to make the video and the sound quality as slick as it is. It's our first time using this system, so of course it's not going to be without its bumps, but may I remind you again that we are live, and it's mad. It's like trying to do a live news telecast or Eurovision on a shoestring budget, really, and shoestring budget is what we have. So I'm really proud of everyone involved in this incredible escapade. Our next writer, when I was in Canada last year, I suddenly realized that there was this whole new place where people were writing musical theatre. Obviously, Come From Away was on Broadway, and that kind of kick-started like a new era in Canadian musical theatre. And I suddenly realised, it's not just America. It's not just this scene of new writers I knew in England and across the UK. There is this incredible scene of writers who I didn't yet know. And I suddenly realised I'm going to get to meet new people and get to know new musicals. And I kept asking, well, mostly Michael Rubinov, the incredible producer who took us out there and was the originating producer of Come From Away. I kept asking, who should I know? Who are the people who I would be excited by? And he said, Nick Greene and Kevin Wong and this next writer. And I kept hearing this next writer's name. People said, I had to know her. I had to know her work. And so when I suddenly realized that we were in a global space and that we could do whatever we want for Signal Online, I started writing emails to people I hadn't yet met in the hope that I could meet them on the internet. This next writer graciously wrote back and said that she would be keen to take part in the concert. We met on Zoom across the Atlantic, and now to play you one of her incredible songs, introducing Britta Johnson.
Oh, hello. My name's Britta Johnson. I hope you didn't just see the dance I was doing, but that's life. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks, Adam, for having me. I hope everyone's staying safe and sane and healthy. I'm going to play you a song from a show of mine called Life After, which isn't technically new at all, but it is what I'm working on right now because musicals are never done. And so I've just started another round of rewrites for another round of workshops for a new production. This is a show that's about a 16-year-old girl named Alice in the wake of her father's death. He dies suddenly in a car accident, and we kind of exist within her internal world as she tries to pick up the pieces and look for logic where there isn't any. And it's about love and loss and growing up. And it's actually kind of a comedy, even though it doesn't sound like that from my description. And I'm going to play for you the last song in the show. This is sung by our protagonist, Alice, and right now it will be sung by me. Enjoy! These days I've thought a lot. I've thought a lot about the way I feel about you. I've thought a lot. These days I've got a lot of reason to doubt you, yet to live without you. I've never been much of a poet. I never could touch with words like you. I've always just thought that we should say things how we see them, sun is hot, the sky is blue. But suddenly I'm out of words. I'm out of words. Suddenly I'm out of words. I'm out of words. This is bigger and brighter and wider than I ever knew. Losing is confusing. What once was black and white has turned to grey, all different shades so strange and new. And there's a certain poetry in knowing you, a certain poetry in losing you, a certain poetry in knowing not a single word or phrase could ever do, not for you, because my former logic won't apply. And it feels like rain and yet the ground is dry. And when I love you but I hate you and I can't articulate exactly why, I've never been much of a poet. I never could touch with words like you. I've always just thought that we should say things how we see them. But how I see you and me, how I see you and me, you and me. It looks a lot like poetry. Thank you.
Wow, that song. Michael Rubinov was not lying. Thanks, Britta. So the internet is a pretty special thing, and especially right now, I don't know what we'd be doing if we didn't have some way of communicating. And what I suppose is interesting is about the way that the internet, we're learning new ways to collaborate now. But the next writer is someone who I met more or less on the internet, and we worked together for a long period of time on the internet because she lives on the other side of the world, in Australia. So the origin story for me and this next writer is I went to see a showcase of her show in London, a sort of 20 minute, oh no, it was more like an hour, 20 minutes of show, 40 minutes of chat. It was amazing. Anyway, I went to see a pitch of her show at the Barbican, and I thought, a musical at the Barbican, that doesn't happen very often. This must be something special. And it was. And I went up to her in the bar afterwards and I just said, hi, if you need a friend in London who likes musical theatre, let me know. And she said, I've got time for half an hour coffee tomorrow afternoon, because her diary was that jam-packed. So I met her for half an hour that next afternoon, and then she went back to Australia. And my version of the story is that 6 months later, she Facebook messaged me and said, I've just spent a weekend listening to all of your podcast, which is a pretty insane thing to do. I had a podcast a few years ago where I talked with people about musical theatre, and it's just a lot of talks about musical theatre. It's quite intense, but full of care and passion. And she said, let's be friends. So we started a friendship on basically Facebook Messenger. And we didn't really talk about any specific shows. We just talked about musicals. And gradually, that sort of correlated into a working relationship. And in fact, we're working together right now on a musical that hopefully will be on your TV screens at some point in the future. But anyway, she lives in Australia. And we're spending most of isolation working using Zoom, and she's woken up at like stupid o'clock in the morning to perform. So it gives me a great pleasure to introduce you to the very early morning Australia and Eve Blake.
Okay, I'm assuming that I'm on. Someone... Yes! Hello, everyone! Oh, I hope that my level's okay. Oh, great. Okay, it is currently 6:52 a.m. in Sydney, so this should be chaotic. I'm doing a song from my most recent show. The show is called Fangirls. The song is called Justice. It's usually sung by a minimum of 5 actors, so please use your imagination and imagine that I am a collection of different teenage girls around the world. Okay, all you need to know is at this point in the show, the biggest pop star in the world, Harry, has gone missing. So this is the song where his fans around the world unite over their shared grief and rage, and then their rage transforms. But the first person we hear from is a 10-year-old girl on her vlog. All right, let's do this. What you're doing to us. Now that you know what love feels like, do you understand what you've destroyed? Because you stole my husband and now you're gonna pay the price for it, you piece of shit. Tease us and hate us, but don't underestimate us, cause we're in love. And I found Mum's peroxide. We're coming to get what's ours. It's as simple as that. We want justice, Harry, and your kneecaps. Why aren't the government doing more to find him? Can't they use the army to fix it? Same. I refuse to do any assignments until they find him. I don't need to learn about history right now. I'm living it. It's been the darkest week of our entire lives. Every second he's gone, I feel a part of me die. We need to find whoever took him. We need to go to their place. We need to demand that they hand us our husband, or we'll rearrange their face. Tease us and hate us, but don't underestimate us, cause we're in love. And I found a chainsaw. We're coming to get what's ours. It's as simple as that. We want justice, Harry, and your kneecaps. The only thing I can do to stay sane right now is imagine what I would do to the dickhat that took him. Yeah, like before taking him to the police, I'd take him to my basement, and I know exactly what I'd say. Prepubescent Punisher coming to have some fun with ya. Wanna see even your fingernail sweating? Restore your phone to factory settings. Here's Harry's lyrics. You have an hour to learn them. For every wrong word, I'll put a nail in your sternum. Hold up. Ladies, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but can we talk about the real situation here? You want to know the reason that the media isn't covering the search for Harry anymore? It's because they're too busy dragging us for being in love. They think we're just pimply preteens with a propensity for panic, predictably predisposed to particularly manic attacks of hysteria, batshit behaviour. These little girls think this boy is their saviour. Allow me to stress, we're not insane or depressed, we're just in pain and expressing it. What's to gain from suppressing it? Why should I hide my feelings? Because they annoy you? Oh, because it isn't what the boys do. Wait, let me get this straight. If my brother loves a footballer, that's normal, natural. Yelling at the telly, no, that's not weird at all. Fine if dad cries cause some guy didn't catch a ball, but if I cry over Harry, I'm a freak? What? A group of passionate women, they must be crazy bitches. Wait, is that the excuse that they use used to burn the witches. They tried to teach us that us female creatures should be fluffy little peaches, apologetic and speechless. And every billboard preaches the lesson that we are less than. So we waste time fussing over features, wondering what will impress men. No day on this earth is promised to you. So with the brief time you have here, what you gonna do? Ridicule me for what makes me feel good? Tell me what it is that I shouldn't or should be doing with my time, be holding in my heart, be singing in my room when school is bloody hard. Or tell me more about my shitty taste. My life's all mine, so yours is yours to waste. Oh, snap! Dance break. Let them all say we're wrong. Tease us and hate us, but don't underestimate us, 'cause we're in love. And I'm thirsty for blood. We're coming to get with us. It's as simple as that. We want justice, respect, a noose on your neck. Harry, our cupcake, seriously, give him back. We want to make a difference to something greater than ourselves. We want what's ours. And your kneecaps as well. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Eve. Can you believe that was like 6:50 in the morning? Holy shitballs. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Eve. There aren't many reasons I would voluntarily get in a plane for 24 hours and go to the other side of the world. But I literally went to go and watch Fangirls and to see Eve Blake. I've watched the show 3 times. It is a phenomenon. And it will leave Australia and make it to every other city on earth. So look forward to that. Thank you, Eve. Thanks for doing it. Okay. So we're up to our last song. Thank you for joining us at this signal. Thank you for joining us on the internet. Thanks for taking your evening and being with us live. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to our incredible writers. The quality of tonight, the originality of it has just been unbelievable. I just, one of the reasons I started this was because I didn't like it when people said I hate musicals, because I wanted to say, you hate what type of musicals? Because musicals can be anything. They can literally sound like anything. They're just music and stories. So the breadth, the range, the type of sounds we've been hearing tonight has just filled my heart, and I hope yours too. Thank you to our global community who care about new musicals and what they are and what they can be. Thank you to incredible technical supervisor Bartek Podkova for drawing this all together, for innovating, for trusting me, and for his incredible hard work. Thank you also, as well as for writing a song, to Christian Czornyj for being on hand as technical wizard and routing guru. If you're out there and you're performing a concert, route your sound. It sounds better, and with people like Chris and Bartek around, you can. If you're able to follow us on YouTube, you can keep in touch with other things that we're going to be streaming, gigs, interviews, concerts. If you want to follow us at ALP Musicals, you can. If you want to tweet about this event, you can. #Signal Online. The next one is going to be in but 2 weeks. It's going to be on Tuesday, the 28th of April, 2 weeks today. Look forward to another global feast of writers. If you are still being paid and still doing okay in this mad time, we would love it if you could support what we're up to and support our writers by going to alpmusicals.com/donate. All right, all the guff out the way, onto our final song. I'm really proud that our next writers have been with us all the way since 2017 and performed a song in Signal 1. They've been at 5 live signals. You can see their videos online on the same YouTube page you're streaming this on. One of the, so many things have been cancelled, but the gutting thing for these next writers is that they were about to have a Broadway open. They were told at 5 p.m. that day that theatre was shutting down on Broadway and they didn't get to have it. But I damn well know they're going to. And I know that when they do get that audience back in a room for that opening night, it's going to be an ordinary thing. And I and the whole community are behind them. Back home in England, the two of them are now writing new things in isolation. And it gives me great pleasure to finish off the night by sending you to them to tell you about what they're up to with a brand new song that I think was written in the last day or two. Sending you now to Lucy Moss. Thanks so much.
Oh my god, I've never been more stressed about anything. I'm muted. I'm live. Great, fantastic. Hello everyone, I'm Lucy Moss. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to just give you a little intro to a song that I wrote with the inimitable, the fantastic Toby Marlow yesterday and on Saturday. We're not sure what this song is for yet. It could be for a concept album that we thought of a couple of days ago. It could be for a show called Diva. If there are any Signal fans out there, you might remember Toby performed a number from that at the very first ever Signal, and we could socialize back then. Great. But it also might just be a pop song that no one ever hears again. But it was our first ever exercise in writing a song via FaceTime. So thank you, Isolation, for forcing us to spice up our marriage. Yes, okay, so the song is about a queer couple in a messy relationship who should probably stop ruining each other's lives but can't seem to somehow. So without any further ado, here is Toby Marlow singing Getaway.
Shall I start now? Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Oh god, okay, cool. Okay. Hi, sorry. Back in your bed with the words that you meant going round in my head till I spit them back at you. Open eyes in the dark, bitten nails, empty glasses of something we drank to forget we've seen this through. Let it go, let it go. If I say it twice, I might just mean it. Let it go today. 'Cause if we had the sense, and if I had the courage, I'd do the only thing I can't do. I'd get away, get away, get away. So wrong, and if I didn't love it, I'd take myself out of your arms and I'd get away, get away, get away. Watch the mistakes that unburn in our wake as we take and we take and we dance this dance again. They ignite and erupt and we pick ourselves up to repeat the routine that we know will never end. myself, but I don't mean it. Let it go today. 'Cause if we had the sense, and if I had the courage, I'd do the only thing I can't do. Get away, get away, get away. 'Cause if we weren't so wrong, and if I didn't love it, I'd take myself out of your arms and I'd get away, get away, get let it go, let it go. It's easy to say but harder to do. Let it go, let it go. I need to be strong but I'm stronger with you. Let it go, let it go. I should look in your eyes and promise that I will do what is best. Untangle this mess with me. But I don't have the sense, and I don't have the courage to do the only thing that I should do. Get away, get away, get away. 'Cause even though we're wrong, I really fucking love it. So take me by the hand tonight and we'll get away, get away, get away. It's easy to say but harder to do. I need to be strong and I'm stronger with you. So look in my eyes and I promise that we will get away, get away, get away.
Thank you so much. What a privilege it was to hear a song that has just been written. I hope the audience agree. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to all of the writers who presented material tonight from across the world. This lineup is the lineup of my dreams. I can't believe it happened. I'm so grateful. So I just want to say thanks to the audience. And also, because time moves so fast and so slow in isolation, we're going to do another one of these in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today on the 28th. Also, this stream will stay up in its imperfect glory for forever. So tell your friends and family to give it a watch if they didn't want to stay up tonight. And they can pretend it's live. And see you on the 28th. Anyone, once this finishes, if you're able to donate to help the things that we're up to, then please do. Even a $5 would be so appreciated. alpmusicals.com/donate. Give me a follow, give us a share, give us a thumbs up, all of the above. Thank you for joining us. See you in 2 weeks. Signal 2 out. Thank you.